The Ara City Gender and Social Development Committee held a sexual gender-based violence ordinance stakeholder meeting at Ara Hill offices organized by the Strategic Initiative for Women in the Horn of Africa, which brought together different stakeholders like security operatives, Ara City councillors, leaders, and officers from the Office of the President to deliberate on issues pertaining to the formation of the sexual gender-based violence ordinance so as to curb gender-based violence. Letiwa Esther, a representative for Sura, blamed parents for leading their children into sexual-based violence situations by not sending their children to school.
You find your child is still very small. Instead of sending such a child to school, you send this child to go and sell on the air by the roadside. What do you expect those men who come and buy on the air to do with this child? Tomorrow they will buy on the air for 500. Then the balance, they might give this child 10,000 and there's no balance. Then this man will say, you keep your 500. No, tomorrow this child will again choose to go back. Another man will come and leave a balance of 100. Now this child will be saving money, small every day. So this child will now know there's someone who gives me money apart from my mother. Tomorrow you will hear your child has been raped. So for us parents, we are the cause of gender-based violence in these communities.
Furua Andama Richard, the Minister for Tourism for the Luke Barakari Institution, stated that stakeholders should invest in sensitization of parents on education of the people in order to build on good morals in their community.
If you want to invest in good morals, then you must invest in education of the people. That is the development of human resource. Parents' responsibility, parenting responsibility, the duties of parents must be seriously emphasized, and these parents must be sensitized in our city. If you want to invest in good morals, then you must invest in education of the people. That is the development of human resource.
Senior Superintendent of Police Josephine Anguchia, the West Nile Police spokesperson, in her submission added that the punishment of offenders preying on the vulnerable and disabled person should be severe compared to other cases.
We need to have severe punishment in cases where victims are vulnerable, because we have seen that people are fond of playing around with vulnerable people like blind, crippled, and so on, even mad. So the punishment should be severe in those cases compared to other cases. Then, secondly, any person should be able to report cases in absence of VHPs. We have seen that many times people are fond of delaying reporting these cases to the various places where they're supposed to be handled, because the VHPs are not there, the LOC is not there. They're wasting time moving up and down looking for these people to seek their guidance, their consent before going to police, before going to other authorities. And in the process, evidence is destroyed.
His Worship Wadri Sam Nyakwa, the Mayor of Ara City, thanked SIHA for organizing the council to sit and deliberate on the sexual gender-based violence ordinance, urging the different stakeholders to support and protect women in their community.
The issue of sexually gender-based violence is real in our communities. Sometimes parents are very careless. If you are still living, if you are not yet dead, ladies and gentlemen, why would you allow your children to stay with their relatives? We now have issues of witchcraft. Some of these sexual abuses of children are directives from witch doctors. The issue of women suffering in community cannot be overemphasized. It is a real thing. In this fight against gender-based violence, all efforts must be made to bring men fully on board, otherwise we are not going to succeed. Women need to be supported. Women need to be protected. And everybody else must stand up to this cause. Therefore, I want to thank SIHA for finding resources to aid us as a council in coming up with this ordinance.
The sexual gender-based violence ordinance was deliberated by the different stakeholders in Arasi, with whom all had their suggestions and opinions about the ordinance for further adjustment before the council can approve and pass the ordinance into law. Okumuringa Christine, Benson Pastore, for West Nile Television, Nilecast.